Hi, creative magic makers. So I am feeling great. I am so happy to be feeling better and grateful that my body has been healing. I did sit out on the grass out front first to set up this art thing and decided that probably wasn't the best for my back. So now I'm in the backyard at a table instead. And I'm excited to do an art wellness practice with you. So this is something I want to share with you guys more often. Some of these simple little ways to bring art and creativity into your life and use them as prompts as well-being. So today we're going to talk about gratitude. Perfect season for it. But gratitude is actually fantastic all year round. It is a wonderful well-being tool to just appreciate and notice the good in the world that's around you. And it's especially potent when you're having difficult times or really feeling lack or frustrated or just really sad, and it's hard to count your blessings because there's a lot of tough stuff out there. This year in particular, obviously, we're all going through very different situations, but all very difficult and equally so, but just in very different ways. So I think this year in particular, it's a very potent exercise. Today, we're going to do something called a gratitude burst. And I've got here very simple materials. I've got a small sketchbook here where you can do some watercolor. So you choose what you have, even if you just have a piece of paper or a computer paper, lined paper, it really doesn't matter. The point of this exercise is to drop into your grateful heart, and materials that you use to get there are totally up to you. So it's going to look something kind of like this, a burst like this. This one was done in colored pencils. And that's just an idea of what we're going to be doing. And I saw this from Elizabeth Gilbert. She had posted this on her Instagram page, something similar called a gratitude bomb that she posted a couple of years ago, I think, and I saved it because I thought it was just such a wonderful little exercise, and now I'm finally getting around to doing it and sharing it with you. And Liz Gilbert, she's an author. She wrote the book Eat, Pray, Love. That's the book that got her like super famous. It's a wonderful book. It's about taking like a sabbatical and just really finding yourself. So I highly recommend it if you haven't read it. I found it to be a very enduring book. And then she went on to write the book Big Magic, which is a fantastic book specifically dealing with creativity. And another book I highly recommend. I read it as soon as it came out, and it is fantastic. So she posted this thing called a gratitude bomb, and I'm going to just take that idea and turn it into a gratitude burst, or maybe even a little bit of a mandala for us to play with. So speaking about gratitude, science says that gratitude is good for you. So not only does it make you feel good and help with your well-being with your thoughts, it actually is good for your entire body. Science says that if you write down 3 things a day, it's going to help reduce depression. It's going to increase your optimism. It can decrease inflammation throughout your body. And I know that for us as humans this day and age, we all have inflammatory issues. So that alone is a huge, huge benefit. And that is if you were to put down 3 things a day. So what would happen if we do a gratitude burst and we just really put down a whole bunch of stuff, you know? That would be amplifying even more so. So what we're going to do is we are going to create a circle in the center like this, and then we're going to do 6 lines coming out from it, and we're going to label those sections and write down what we're grateful for in those particular areas. Well, I'm going to switch you guys down to my table and we will do that together. I've got this simple set of watercolor here to play with. I picked this up at Michael's. It's about $5, I think, to get something like this. It has really pretty colors. This particular watercolor, though, does get a little chalky. So instead of putting this down first and then writing over it, I tend to write first, and then I'll use these colors to decorate my page after. I also have some colored pencils here, so you can use something like that, or markers, something else you might have on hand to color it. And you can just use a simple pencil or pen for your journaling. I am looking forward to spending a little time feeling grateful. So I'm going to open up my book here. So the first thing we have to talk about is what our segments are going to be. So we have, as each of us might have a few different things we want to do. These are the segments that Elizabeth Gilbert had suggested: spirit, community, family, body, work, and home. And for some of us, that might not make as much sense. Maybe you want to change work to school, or maybe you want it to be inner work or hobbies, or if you're retired, maybe you want to talk about your gratitude for where you are in retirement and what that looks like. And the other suggestion of words is like the wheel of life. There's well-being and mindful, career, wealth, love, family, fun, friendship, and health. So let's first talk about what you might want your starburst to be. I think health is an important one for me right now, so I'm going to choose health. Family. Community. I'm going to say mindfulness, or maybe well-being. So that's 4. Work, home, spirit, or some others, or body. I'll say work. That gives me 5. Maybe I'll say home, especially since we've been spending so much time at home. So these are going to be my 6: health, family, community, well-being, work, and home. And since I have this spiral in the center, I'm just going to create a half a circle on one side and a half a circle on the other. You can decide to stay on one side of the page if you don't want to break it up. But using a pencil, I'm just going to create my circle. And I'm not going to worry about making it perfect. I think I'm going to say on here, I'm just going to write gratitude. And then I'll put burst on this side. And if you have a complete circle, you can do it in the center. You don't have to break it up like that. So since we have 6 sections, I'm going to create 3 lines here. And I'm going to create 3 lines here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that gives me 6 if I want to include these together, or if you wanted to create them separate, you can always add some extra categories. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create another circle, and this is where I'm going to write my categories in. So just leave enough space here that you can write your words in. And you can use a pen, you can use a colored pencil if you want to. I'm just going to start with a pencil. And now I'm going to go around and I'm going to add in my words. And your words might be a little bit different depending on what you decided to put in your areas. So next what we're going to do is we're going to start filling in these spaces with words or sentences about what you are grateful for, and just let it spill out as much as it wants to. We're going to fill the page. And in between, if you want to, you can add some doodles and things like that in, just like we were working on a mandala. So maybe I'll start with creating some doodles all the way around. And I'm just going to add in some triangles. Just to add a little element of playing and drawing. When you start to think about something you're grateful for, it can be simple, like if you want to say home, you might be grateful for your room or your bedroom, your own private space. You might be grateful for a kitchen stocked with food and snacks. And you can stop there, or you can sort of add on to that. And what I mean is, if you say why, you're going to expand on that gratitude. So if you say, I'm grateful for my room, and then you say why you're grateful for your room. I'm grateful for my room because it gives me a special place to read, or it gives me some time alone to relax. That just expands upon the idea. I'm thankful for my family because they are easy to get along with, especially right now during quarantine, that everyone is very respectful and very kind to one another. So think about those things as you're writing down your gratitude. You can either just write some words, or you can expand upon it and say why you're grateful for that particular thing. This is what I mean about adding some extra doodles in between. You might want to say a sentence or a little paragraph, and then you may want to just do a little creating between. You may even want to repeat in your head what you're grateful for when you're drawing in that section. So right now, I can say to myself, I'm grateful for my body's ability to heal. I am so happy to be able to sit down and move my body again. And so you're acting like a little bit of a meditation when you're doing the drawing, and then you're reiterating what you wrote while you're drawing. I'm going to come back after I'm done writing and add in some color. So if you're wondering where that comes, it'll be after I write my little notes. You can also decide if you wanted to change it up, that you would write some of your notes in colored pencil and some of them in regular pencil. And now we get to color. And you can do this however you want. You can do all different colors. You can decide that one section's one color. You guys ever want to travel? This is a great little travel watercolor pencil. You just fill this tube up with water and you've got an instant brush. It's by Sakura, S-A-K-U-R-A. They make fabulous watercolors. And this little top just unscrews. So you'd empty this for when you're traveling, and then whenever you want to use it, you fill it with water and screw this back on. And then you can use this to dip into water into your paint. And now I'm just going to paint right over my pencil. And fill in some of my doodles. And make my page fun. If you want to use watercolor, it works really well over pencil. It also works well over all sorts of different pens. You just may want to test one out. Kind of like I did here. You can test them out before you pick it. Make sure that your pen doesn't bleed. But pencil's always a safe bet. You can always paint right over pencil. And then you can also paint right over your words. I haven't done that part yet, but you can drip and just do very lightly, or choose some light colors. This way you can still see what you wrote. it's really nice to give yourself a little time just to think about all the blessings in your life. And I feel like when you do something like this, you expand upon just the initial, I'm grateful for my family, I'm grateful for, my health. You kind of really spend a little more time getting specific. I'm going to pick up some of the darker colors to go where my doodles are, because you don't have to read those. So maybe I'll add some darker colors there. And there you have it. I've got my gratitude burst, and I'm going to let this dry. Got all the things I'm grateful for in those sections. And if I showed up and did this a week from now or a month from now, all of these things, some of them may be the same, but you're going to have things that are definitely different. So this is definitely a practice you can come to and do more than once and see where you are. You may even want to change your burst if you're trying to switch it up and do something new. You can change all the things that you are putting in your spots here, and then you can have a totally different gratitude burst. So in speaking that, this isn't something I would do necessarily every day, but this would be a special practice that I might sit down and do every now and then, or when I'm feeling like I want to just love on my blessings, or when I'm feeling like I'm really not in a place of gratitude, I might want to sit down and do something like this to open up that space, open up that love.